E-Line Soccer Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, between the Carolina Dynamo and the hometown of Milwaukee Rampage. A magnificent atmosphere here. It's nice to have you back with us once again, everybody. I'm Derek Ray. We're talking tonight about two teams who really shouldn't be here if the first half of the season was anything to go by. Both teams had their problems to see. Let's talk first of all about the Carolina Dynamo. They made a miserable opening to the season, as you can see, 4-7, but ended on a 14-3 run, and then managed to overcome Richmond, the Charleston Battery, and the Long Island Rough Riders in the playoffs to get this far. Carolina has a storied tradition to call upon. Back in 1993, they emerged victorious to win the USISL National Championship, the first of its time. And lo and behold, 12 months after that, they repeated the dose. It was Carolina victorious again. In those days, they were known as the Greensboro Dynamo. They have switched nowadays to the Carolina Dynamo. That's the team that we're referring to tonight. Their opponents, the Milwaukee Rampage, also a sluggish beginning, 3-8, and then 11-6 to finish off. Wins over Nashville, New Orleans, and last week a stunning upset against the more illustrious Vancouver 86ers. Little was expected of Milwaukee, but they went to British Columbia and came up with the goods. In the end, it came down to this, a shootout victory. Nick Eigel converting. Celebrations in order for Bob Gansler and his team. The Milwaukee Rampage are in town, and they'll hope to call upon strong support from the crowd. I'm joined as always by Farouk Qureshi. Farouk, it would have been a surprise to many that Carolina and Milwaukee would be in the final a few months ago.
It certainly would, Derek, and you mentioned that they both had very, very bad starts to the season, but really the most important thing is they both gained a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. Carolina had the highest scoring team in the A-League this year. Milwaukee didn't even have one player in the top 20 in goal scoring, but that's all been changed going into the playoffs. Now Milwaukee has come hot and Carolina's also hot, so tonight should be a very, very good game.
This will be a battle of two highly rated strikers in the A-League. First for the Carolina Dynamo, Brian Lofton.
Brian Lofton has made his name playing for Kansas City indoors, but has just done a wonderful job for this Carolina Dynamo team. He's an opportunistic goal scorer. Look for him tonight around the goal mouth.
Milwaukee will depend on Dan Stebbins, previously of the Dallas Burn in Major League Soccer.
And Stebbins had just an unfortunate experience in Dallas. He had an early season injury which ended his career in Dallas, but he really came back to Milwaukee and really has been burning up the team with goals in the playoffs.
Milwaukee with the home support against the Carolina Dynamo for the A-League Championship. We'll return to E-Line Soccer Park with the starting lineups and kickoff after these messages. You will remember him as the #1 for the New England Revolution of Major League Soccer last year. Heaney has been playing superbly in recent weeks.
He certainly has, and this is Aiden's second stint with the Dynamo, and just has been magnificent in the nets, and it gives a lot of confidence to his fellow defenders.
There's the rest of the Carolina Dynamo lineup. They go with three at the back. Eddie Radwanski, a veteran, influential figure in midfield, and Yari Allnut is the franchise player.
Gary Allnut, former national team player, very, very fast.
Carmen Izako is the goalkeeper for the Milwaukee Rampage. A Canadian, 14-14 during the regular season. And in front of Izako, it looks like this for the Rampage. Very few stars to speak of. Jason Willen can be dangerous in terms of free kicks, and Stebbins we talked about earlier.
And certainly David Marshall is one to look for with his speed up front.
They're ready to play at E-Line Soccer Park. Our referee, Kevin Terry, sounds the match into action. The Carolina Dynamo in the red shirts attacking the goal to our right in the first half. Two teams that began very weakly in 1997. Little could they have thought back in June that they would be here contesting the final. First touch for goalkeeper Aidan Heaney, native of Newcastle, England.
And the nice thing about this game, Derek, is it's being played on just possibly the biggest field in the league. 120 yards long, 80 yards wide. Plenty of space for these players to show what they can do.
Kevin Terry, we talked about, referee from Dallas. Francisco Sanchez and John Paul Spicer Escalante helping out Kevin Terry. Terry, in fact, a contender for the Golden Whistle Award in Major League Soccer, finalist. Mike Heweiler is the left back for the Milwaukee Rampage. Slides it across to Carmine Zacco. Carolina, as we mentioned, in their familiar red, Milwaukee in white, green, and white. The green shorts for the Rampage. That flick by David Marshall, a raw striker, previously with University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. There's an autumnal feel to the proceedings tonight. A little on the chilly side. Not that we're complaining about that. Ideal conditions for soccer as Kieran Breslin, the fiery Welshman, makes his presence felt. 62 degrees, a gusty wind. A slight chance of rain. We'll try to hold that off as we move along.
And really ideal conditions for a soccer match. And the field is in great condition. Grass is short.
Here's Zacco. Using David Moxham, the right back. First player to perform for the indoor team, the Milwaukee Wave, and the Rampage, the outdoor franchise. Moxham using Peter Gansler. He's the son of the coach, Bob Gansler, whom we'll discuss a little later. Heweiler's header. Milwaukee in no hurry just at the moment. Zeno Lopez, the big tough Canadian defender, goes over the top for Stebbins to chase. And Heaney is there calming everyone down. A very mature goalkeeper, Aidan Heaney. Now an opportunity. Hamid makes the run with Lofton in the middle. Hamid with Lofton there. Couldn't quite get the touch. Peter Gansler did the shepherding.
Gansler doing a good job that time and just not enabling Lofton to get onto the end of that ball.
Eamon Hamid and Brian Lofton team very well together. Lofton with 11 goals during the regular season. He has added 3 more in the playoffs for the Carolina Dynamo. High, tantalizing ball toward Travis Roy. Slip at the final moments. Popped up by Kari Stockton, the left-sided midfielder. We'd like to thank Umbro for allowing us to bring you the A-League Championship game without commercial interruption. Umbro, only soccer since 1924. Here's Kieran Breslin, the Welshman. Not a bad cross. Battered down by Hamid, who was making the run into the center. Goal kick is the end result of that. Just underway as Milwaukee goes at it with Carolina for the A-League title.
And we should add that there's been a change for the Carolina team, and that Robert Rosario was unable to start tonight because of a knee injury, which is a real loss for this team.
They're also without Scott Schweitzer and their English forward, Richard Sharp. Rosario also an Englishman. Little touch by Mayor Otta as he went jousting with Travis Roy. On the first corner kick of the match will go to Bob Gansler's team.
And for this, look for Peter Gansler coming up with his height, 6'5". He's very dangerous on these set plays.
Shapansky over on the far side will take the corner. Trying to flank the ball away from Heaney, and there's the header. Gansler making the late run. All the big players were up. Stebbins was the man who got his head to it. They were all watching Gansler. Now the break for Stockton. Kari Stockton has Lofton waiting to the right, but the pass left a lot to be desired. Gentili's feed all the way through to Aidan Heaney. That flick by Yari Alnott. He likes to operate just behind the 2 main strikers, Hamid and Lofton. Close call though moments ago. Farouk inside the box.
It certainly was. I think all attention was on Peter Gansler at the near post, and Stebbins came in at the far post, got a nice header, but that's the value of having a defender on the far post. He was there to clear it away.
There's the chase by Lofton. He'll do well to keep this in play. He manages to do so. Zeno Lopez attends to him. Many people believe this will be the last professional match played by Dino Lopez. There have been hints of that in the Milwaukee newspapers. Maybe a championship victory would change his mind.
It's surprising, really, because he's a young player still at the age of 28.
That pass by Shapansky. Eddie Radwanski is there to mop up. Lofton just down by Lopez. Here's Shapansky, who doubles as the assistant coach and captain, and a good ball. Travis Roy on the run, a good check and field. Roy and Heaney with a save. Great lead-up work by Roy. And magnificent goalkeeping from Aidan Heaney.
That certainly was. Quick counter-attack, and Roy doing well to come inside, getting off a good shot, but Heaney covering his near post very, very well.
Aidan Heaney, a commanding figure. Very good positional goalkeeper. Not the most athletic in the world, but always, it seems, in the right spot. Second corner coming up for Milwaukee. Gansler waits as Szczepanski takes in the flashing header. David Marshall. Just wide of the target. Marshall, the fleet-footed striker, showing his prowess in the air.
And already Carolina is showing a little bit of disorganization at the back. Milwaukee exploiting that. But Bob Gansler's game plan is to attack wide, attack Danny Kerr and Mayor Atta on the flanks. And on this field, he can do that very well.
Referee Kevin Terry gives the free kick following the climb by Peter Gansler. Eddie Radwanski in the thick of the action. He steps aside. Jari Alna takes it. Out to the far side. Mayor Atta. Strong marking defender, Atta. 27 years old, trying to go to the byline. Travis Roy attempting to make the intervention, but the ball went skittling off Atta. Alan Dix, 62 years old, a Londoner, coach of the Carolina Dynamo. 44-19 record, one-time coach of Bristol City in England. Urging the players to communicate. Free kick this time goes the way of Milwaukee. You'll probably hear the voice of Alan Dix leak through several times tonight. Jason Willett, an enterprising young player, laying it off. Szczepanski. Out to the far side it goes. Moxham. Wasted pass by Moxham. He'll feel he should have done much better.
And he should have. It was a poor cross by Moxham. He should have gone over the top, and I believe he mishit that ball.
Travis Roy, Heaney waits. Marshall getting his head to the ball. Tidied up. Danny Kerr at the back. The danger not cleared. Now the flag is raised. Offside as Willen tried to make the run on the left. Free kick goes to the Carolina Dynamo. A fiery start in Milwaukee, Farouk.
It certainly is, and certainly Milwaukee putting a lot of pressure on this Carolina defense from the early going.
David Marshall, number 17 there, looked very raw when we saw him earlier in the season, but he's developed greatly under the tutelage of Bob Gansler. Jason Willett does well to come up with the ball. Here's the charge, led by Dan Stebbins this time. Free kick is given, though, behind the plate. It'll go the way of the Milwaukee Rampage. Dan Stebbins tried to make the run on the left, but Kevin Terry spotted something farther back.
He saw Jari Alna commit a foul, and he certainly wanted to lay down the law very early in this game so he doesn't get away from him.
Zeno Lopez for the Milwaukee Rampage. Milwaukee, paradoxically, has been stronger away from home this season than here at Eline Soccer Park.
They certainly have. In fact, they lost 3 of their last 4 games at home, which is very, very surprising, really, because most teams fare much better when they're at home than they do when they're on the road.
Milwaukee got off to that rocky start that we alluded to earlier, 3-8. But the Rampage have simply been one of the hottest teams in the A-League during the second half of the season. David Marshall runs into trouble in the form of Kari Stockton. Stockton gets the return feed in midfield. To the near side it goes. John Ball trying to win it. The decision this time will go with Carolina. Danny Kerr wearing the number 25 shirt. Drafted by DC United by their coach Bruce Arena earlier this year. But he has landed with Carolina in the A-League. Atta on the far side, the left. Mayor Atta's pass. Radwanski slowing down the tempo of the game and trying to take the sting out of this Milwaukee crowd. Stockton. Radwanski again. Weaving pretty patterns. Might have a go. Radwanski. Shot skipping into the hands of Izako. Not a vintage effort.
It was a good shot in the sense that it was on goal, it was on target, and it made Carmen Isako make a save. And it was a tough ball because it took a short hop in front of the keeper, and when it does that, you never know what it's going to do.
We've been playing for 11 minutes in Milwaukee. No score. Isako races off his line. Quick throw out to Heweiler on the left. Mike Heweiler, a converted midfielder. Heweiler played in the very first Major League Soccer game of '96 for DC United at San Jose.
In fact, Heweiler started in 5 games for DC in its inaugural season, and his season was cut short because of an abdominal injury. Otherwise, I think he'd probably still be in MLS.
Long ball by Peter Gansler right down Heaney's throat. So many players on show tonight who have had Major League Soccer experience or have certainly been discussed by MLS coaches, and no doubt many will be discussed again.
Certainly this is an opportunity for these players to showcase their abilities.
There, Ada. David Marshall makes the sliding, crunching challenge. Intensity from the young striker.
That was a very, very strong challenge by Marshall, and a very good one as well.
Ada with the throw. Little turn by Hamid. Pretty good on his feet for a big man, isn't he?
Certainly is.
Gansler knocks it out of play. Stockton with the throw in.
What's the fella coming in?
Given away needlessly in midfield. Robin Chan was the offender that time. Out to the far side they go. The Milwaukee Rampage. Gentili and Marshall trying to hook up. Shapansky's pass. Heweiler was the playmaker in midfield earlier this season. Bob Gansler deciding to move him back to left fullback with decent results. Here is a break for Carolina. Unable to make it count, though. Travis Roy. Roy's feed. Moxham loses out to Hamid. Little scrappy just at the moment as Travis Roy got the final touch that time. It will be a Carolina Dynamo throw. Travis Roy has been floating around in recent matches between midfield and attack. Nominally the right-sided midfielder this evening.
Well, that's because he does not partner that well with Dan Stebbins when he's playing up front, as opposed to Marshall, who really combines well with Stebbins. But Roy is very, very good going forward.
It's all about the chemistry. Here's Travis Roy. Taking on Stockton, turning him inside out, just over the head of Stebbins. Well, the idea was good. Travis Roy going for a dance with the ball, just a little bit too much on the cross. Stebbins couldn't meet it.
And so far, Bob Gansler's plan to attack down the wings seems to be working. They're able to stretch this Carolina defense.
The rules are as follows. This is a 90-minute match. If they're tied after that, we'll go to golden goal overtime. Sudden death, if you prefer. 2 15-minute periods. Then the shootout. Only that. Kieran Breslin on the near side. Carves out a corner kick for the Carolina Dynamo. Went spinning off Heweiler.
Breslin giving us a preview of what to expect from him this evening. When we saw him earlier in the season, he did very, very well for Carolina. He goes forward extremely well, but in Heweiler, he's playing against a very canny opponent.
We saw Breslin score a magnificent goal for Carolina against Long Island around the halfway mark of the season. Kari Stockton has gone across to take the corner kick. He'll try to curve this one in with his left foot. Danny Kerr is up helping the attack. Isako punches the ball away. Very tidy job by Isako. Breslin, Isako! Excellent read by the Canadian.
An excellent cross and good save by Isako. But you know, without Rosario and his team, Carolina lacks height, and that's where they really do look to him in set plays.
Rosario has been a defensive midfielder as well as a center back during the '97 season. Kieran Breslin on the right. Thwarted by Heweiler. That could be a very good matchup to follow tonight, Farouk.
It certainly should be.
Now Stebbins with space. Urged on by the fans. Danny Kerr intervenes, conceding to throw it. Back to Mike Gentile. In the words of Bob Gansler, Gentile, the best one-touch passer on the team, one of the best he's ever seen.
Certainly, he's done very well in the games we've seen him play.
Blocks him, cutting it back. Indecision at the back. Here it comes again, Shapansky. And Heaney making the simple save in the end. A little too straight to trouble the Englishman. Aidan Heaney trying to organize his defenders. Now the chase is on for Milwaukee again. Heaney comes quickly off his line. Aidan Heaney was with the New England Revolution at the start of the season in terms of the preseason training camp. Scott Sofel, the former University of Indiana defender, got the nod as the backup to Walter Zenga when all was said and done. Heaney, in fact, now doubling as assistant coach at Penn State. Hamid takes on Peter Gansler, just boots it away to safety over the head of Roy. Nice combination, Stockton and Otta together. Otta's pass. Lofton goes deep to the far post. Back it comes, Radwanski. Hamid trying the shot. The flag was up anyway. The flag was raised as Hamid let fly inside the box. But they certainly troubled the defenders for a...
They certainly did that time. Good cross coming in here from Brian Lofton. Goes over to the far side. Not able to clear it was Hugh Weiler, and Hamid is standing there but in an offside position. Also a very acute angle, and that's why he puts into the side netting. Mayor Otta fouled on that occasion. Otta, the 27-year-old. This is 5th year with the Carolina Dynamo. He was the 1996 Defender of the Year. Not really noted for his offensive work, but 2 goals anyway. Radwanski. Talking of Eddie Radwanski, this is his 8th championship game since high school. Certainly a durable player. Shows great leadership for this Carolina team. Stockton tripped up by Travis Roy. Kevin Terry, the referee, gives the free kick. Travis Roy doing some defensive work on the right flank. Stockton was well away from him. He went sprinting toward the byline. And Stockton himself will take this free kick from the far side, the left. Very cultured player, Kari Stockton. Certainly, and I expect this to be a left-footed outswinger. There's Stockton, deep to the far post. A little too much on it. Lofton whips it back in. And through it goes to Carmen Izako. Still waiting for the first goal in this, the 1997 A-League Championship game. I'm Derek Ray. Farouk Qureshi is alongside. Nice to have you with us. This is a one-off match. No mini games, no second legs, no 3-game series to speak of. It's all about what happens tonight in Milwaukee. Lofton. Eddie Radwanski. Robin Chad farther forward. Instead, they use Danny Kerr. Headed back by Allnut. A piece of work by Yari Allnut. Bit of a quiet start, though, you'd have to say, for Allnut. It's been heavily marked by the Milwaukee Rampage. Shapansky, the captain and assistant coach. Now David Marshall racing down the right side. As Stebbins free in the middle, he's calling for the ball, but Marshall goes it alone. Heaney save. Able to parry it out. Stebbins draws it back. Willen curving it in. That wasn't a Jason Willen special. Normally does much better than that. Travis Roy now for Milwaukee. Danger at the back for Carolina. Yari Allnut got on the way and concedes the corner kick. And that was a great shot by Travis Roy that time. And a nice series of shots by the Milwaukee Rampage. And here's David Marshall taking the first shot in that series. Boy, what a lot of pressure for this Carolina team to soak up so early. The corner kick will go to the Milwaukee Rampage.
Jason Willen and Mike Gentili at the controls. Willen moving a couple of wires out of the way.
You're looking at some of the standing room only crowd.
Gentili with a corner kick, almost fooling the defense. Allnut has the situation under control. Back with Hugh Weiler. Long range drive this time by Gentili. Out to Willen on the left. Stebbins in the middle with a head flick. Travis Roy cuts it back in menacingly. Crowded penalty area filled with red shirts. Lofton tries to ease the pressure. Radwanski riding the challenges. Enterprising run here by Eddie Radwanski. Oh, a slip at the final moment by Hamid. Otherwise, very promising, and Eddie Radwanski, the veteran, the man who led the charge.
And that was a quick counter-attack by Carolina that time. Radwanski doing well to take the ball upfield, and a fine cross as well, but Hamid just slipping before he could get his shot off. And, you know, we've seen quite a number of players slipping this evening, and I suspect that they're wearing molded shoes, and this grass is somewhat thick and probably very dewy.
The midway point of the first half here in Milwaukee. Plenty of go-mouth activity in this, the A-League Championship game of 1997, but no score. If anything, the slight edge in terms of pressure going to the Milwaukee Rampage.
I certainly have to agree with that. They've created a number of opportunities. The concern that they must have is that they have to convert some of these, otherwise they're going to be under pressure for the counter-attack.
A highly charged atmosphere. The fans in the Milwaukee area have been very excited about this all week long. Standing room only crowd. Just for the record, we're also standing. Here's Kari Stockton. David Moxon with a no-nonsense tackle. A clean one. Ada's pass. Allnut with Stockton. Stockton going on that run around the outside. David Moxon up to the task of remaining with him. Here's Ada. Ada going down the left. He'll get the corner kick this time. The defensive cover work put in by Shapansky and Moxon.
Good call by the referee. And now Carolina taking it to Milwaukee a little bit more.
Kieran Breslin from Wales, born in Newport. Had a stint with Cardiff City Youth at one point. Trying to curl the ball in. Little too obvious, little too straight. Gentili had the situation under control. Mike Gentili able to get his head to it. 21 minutes left to go in the first half. Teams have been sizing each other up in the early going here. Radwanski. Onto the far side to Ada. Well read by Shapansky. The first time ball. Stebbins controls it well. Gentili. Pass was off the mark. Shapansky couldn't get there. Sloppy work by Gentili that time for once. Hamid's pass. Hamid and Lofton, the two strikers, moving deep, but Hugh Weiler comes away with the ball. Stebbins making the run over the middle. Breslin, not a bad pass that time. Lofton using his speed inside the box. Lofton! The angle too acute again. Was asking a lot of Brian Lofton to finish from that particular position. Not much goal to aim at.
I think Lofton that time decided he was going to go for it by himself, but he really didn't have the angle. He was on the near post and Nisako had it covered. And here we have another look at it. He did have players inside to whom it may have been a better pass, but Lofton instead opting to shoot, hitting the side netting.
Very impressive season for Brian Lofton, the 25-year-old. Spent 1996 with the Kansas City Attack. The indoor team. Travis Roy against Kari Stockton of the Carolina Dynamo. Milwaukee in the white shirts. Got to use home advantage to get the win here. Aiden Heaney jumps up and says, "That's mine," following the Moxon cross. Stefanski gives it away inexplicably. Now Stefanski. Willen, the most accomplished player in terms of shooting from long range. Suspicion of handball as Stebbins tried to make his way over the middle. Free kick following the hand by Stebbins.
And that time I thought Willen may have taken a chance and shot it from 35 yards, because he certainly has the ability to score from that range.
But it could be the kind of game, Farouk, with the defenses as tightly packed as they are, that comes down to that, the one opportunity from 20 or 25 yards out.
Certainly could, but both these teams have already created a number of opportunities thus far, so I'm optimistic that they will continue to do that.
18.5 minutes left to go in first half play. Our action coming to you from Eline Soccer Park in Milwaukee. We'd like to thank Umbro, the international soccer company, for allowing us to bring you the A-League Championship game without commercial interruption. Umbro, only soccer since 1924. Moxham's pass over on the far side to Milwaukee right. Stockton done a lot of battling in the defensive sense already on the left flank. Travis Roy now. Stebbins with a touch. Roy goes blazing in. Otta meets it. Now John Ball. Ball wearing the number 6 shirt. Eddie Radwanski for the Carolina Dynamo. Kieran Breslin on the near side, the right. Hamid loses out. The passing has been a little loose, a little off the mark during the last few minutes. That applies to both teams.
Certainly, they need to keep possession. Very, very important, especially on a big field like this.
80 yards wide. That's remarkable by any barometer. As Stebbins goes tearing over the middle, Heaney is there. There's some, Farouk, who would say it's almost too wide.
Well, when we were here earlier in the season, we felt that the teams couldn't adapt to the dimensions of the field.
Lofton tries to get in behind the defense. Zako makes the save. Peter Gansler was back, working with his goalkeeper, Carmody Zako.
And Lofton has looked very dangerous in his forays into the goal area.
Peter Gansler looks a little awkward at the back, but that's pretty good technique for a big man.
And this is his first year, so he does lack some experience, but certainly brings some great attributes to the game.
Mayor Otta was pushed by Dan Stebbins. Nothing too serious.
Here's another look. With Stebbins, actually Stebbins pushes Otta, and a little bit obvious.
Not liable to escape the notice of Kevin Terry, the referee. Terry actually hails originally from Ilford in Essex, England. Resides these days in Dallas. One of the foremost referees in the country.
Certainly, and just had an outstanding season last year with MLS, and this year again.
Mikey Weiler plays it across the defense to Dino Lopez. David Moxham is able to get there. Moxham working well in midfield now. Stebbins. Tenacious play by John Ball. He's filling in as the sweeper tonight in the absence of Scott Schweitzer. Also Robert Rosario. Such a body blow to be minus those two veterans.
Certainly, and both players named to the A-League All-Star team for the season. Schweitzer first team, Rosario second team, so big blow for Carolina to be without their services tonight.
And Bob Rosario was telling us earlier that is it. He's not going to play anymore. And it really is a shame. He's brought a lot in terms of experience and ability to the A-League this year.
He certainly has, but I can understand his decision in light of the injuries that he's had to that knee.
David Moxham looking for Stefanski. Good combination, Allnut and Radwanski back. Here's Yaryelnut, tripped up by David Moxham. Moxham acknowledging his error.
Moxham, a no-nonsense defender, very, very physical.
Physical is a word that can be used to describe the proceedings generally just at the moment. Kieran Breslin trying to evade the challenge of Jason Willen. Throw goes to the Carolina Dynamo. Carolina in the red shirts, attacking the goal to our right in the first half. Weiler takes the throw in with 14 minutes left to go in first half play. If you're clock watching. Still hear Alan Dick shouting out the instructions in animated fashion. We can't give it out by Anna right in front of referee Kevin Terry. Travis Roy decked. There Anna, uncompromising figure at the back.
There's another look. Travis Roy going through and Ada just standing right in front of him, obstructing him.
Here's Travis Roy going around the outside, but the cross didn't match the build-up. Travis Roy trying to break free from the shackles of this Dynamo defense.
And he's been able to do that several times already this evening, and he's looked dangerous each time. Now, we talked about Kevin Terry being up for the Golden Whistle Award. Now, one reason why I think he does such a good job as a referee is because he has professional soccer experience as a player.
That's a very good point. Fairly useful player at one time. Now he devotes all his time to refereeing, does Kevin Terry, be it of the indoor variety as well as professionally outdoors, A-League and MLS. Stockton. Radwanski. Now Robin Chan, the Englishman. Kieran Breslin. Previously teammates, those two at Florida Tech. Breslin's first time ball. Yari Alnut couldn't get in on the end of that. And Chan and Breslin went to college together, both from the British Isles originally. Marshall tried to make the run that time. The near side referee's assistant flagged as if he saw something, but referee Kevin Terry decided to wave play on. He let it go.
Good communication between the referee and his assistant, though. We talked to Terry earlier today, and he's one of those referees that does rely on his linesmen, or referee's assistants we call them now, throughout the game.
So many referees seem not to opt for that. Seem almost frozen when it comes to important decisions being taken, but not Terry. We'll see him communicate as much as possible, and if he hasn't seen something, and the assistant has, it does make sense to go across and confer.
I think he's humble enough to acknowledge that this game requires more than one set of eyes to call it well.
Kevin Terry already poised to take charge of part of the Kansas City-Colorado series in the MLS playoffs. Out it comes to Radwanski for the Carolina Dynamo. Carolina has been able to shut down Milwaukee during the last 10 or 15 minutes after a blistering start by the Rampage.
Well, they're starting to settle down. They're probably getting more comfortable with what they're looking at in terms of the Milwaukee attack.
A lot of things coming your way during the halftime intermission here in Milwaukee. We'll talk with Francisco Marcos, the league commissioner. Other guest will be Hank Steinbrecher, Secretary General of the U.S. Soccer Federation. Also look at all the awards from this championship weekend, the A-League awards for the season. And we'll take a look back at some of the goals of 97 too. All that in store at halftime, so don't go away. 10 minutes left to go in first half play. Derek Ray, Farouk Qureshi with you from Eline Soccer Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Kieran Breslin for the Carolina Dynamo. Robin Chan helping him out. Lofton and all not, but the whistle is blown. Handball against Brian Lofton.
A good call that time by Kevin Terry. He was right on the spot. And that ball did hit his arm, and it came down. It set up nicely for a shot, so it could have been a dangerous situation.
Milwaukee attacking the goal to our left. Jason Willen going from side to side. Hamid. Little clip that time by David Moxham. Moxham moves back, 25 years old. Actually played with Carolina in 1996.
And he was with the Tampa Mutiny this year, but wasn't able to really sign, so came back to Milwaukee. Also plays for the Milwaukee Wave.
Let's see if they can spring Lofton again on the right, using his pace. Unable to keep it in play, however. Brian Lofton actually quit soccer upon graduating from the University of Evansville, then returned to the indoor game following a dare by one of his friends.
It's an interesting way to take up a career. But well, Lofton's an interesting character. If you look at him, you couldn't guess that he spent 3 years at the military academy at West Point before transferring to Evansville.
Danny Kerr falling to the ground. Lofton is the key man in offensive terms for the Carolina Dynamo, with 11 goals scored during the regular season. Actually one shy of Jari Alnott, the attacking midfielder. But Lofton has been hot in the playoffs with 3 goals to his name. Jason Willett. Very moody player, Willett. Trying to take on the defense. Whipping it in first time. Not too fancy by Willett in the end. The wild thing, they call him in these parts.
And that move that time was just a little bit too predictable. Willett trying to go outside and get the cross in, but not able to really get past the defender that time.
Danny Kerr was trying to stay with him. Aiden Heaney with the goal kick. 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Dino Lopez, a commanding player at the back. It'll be sad to see him go if the rumors are true. Mike Heweiler. Next, the attacking surge on the left. Shapansky. Hopeful ball that time. Cut out by Ball. Back to Shapansky, though. Quillen and Marshall. Bad touch. Darren Breslin playing it back to Aiden Heaney. We're now inside the final 7-minute spell of the first half. The game remains goalless. The Carolina Dynamo and Milwaukee Rampage playing for the A-League crowd of 97. There's the clock running. Misses out Radwanski. Very sanguine match so far. Both teams in the mood to show off as Roy plays it in right across the face of the goal. The crossing has been poor, would have to be said, from both flanks.
No, certainly I'd have to agree with that. That time Roy getting just too much on that cross, and it goes out for a throw-in on the far side of the field.
Magnificent crowd in Milwaukee tonight. They really have rallied around the Rampage in recent weeks. This facility can hold no more than 6,000. Every nook and cranny is filled. Milwaukee building slowly and patiently and methodically from the back. Peter Gansler with the touch. Now they play it out to the right side. Travis Roy has Moxham wide to the right. Roy veers in field. Looking for Radwanski. Gentili working with Shapansky. Now Roy sizing up his options. Good turn against Stockton. Travis Roy. Oh, another bad finish. Bob Gansler watches from his position in the technical area. Excellent record as Rampage head coach. Apparently Bob Gansler no longer in the running for the Chicago job at MLS.
Here you have another look at Travis Roy turning the defender inside out, then hitting the shot to the near post, which goes wide when he had so many options and teammates standing waiting for the cross to come in.
Really quiet year by Roy's standards. So he is a very important part of this Milwaukee team. Excellent with his back to goal. John Shapansky. It's likely this will be his last season as well for the Milwaukee Rampage. We have 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Still no score. Milwaukee trying to change that with David Moxon. Radwanski is the marker. Still Moxon. And Radwanski staying with it. Back it goes to Gansler. Square ball, Gentili. Stebbins. Gansler again, looking for Dan Stebbins. Trying to chest it down, all not. Belted away without any ceremony by John Ball. And Uweiler watches as the ball crosses the touchline on the near side.
Actually, it's a good clearance by John Ball because it gave the defense some relief from the pressure that they were experiencing.
The Milwaukee Rampage, a team that has not enjoyed much success in the playoffs in the past. Different story this year. Now they have to defend earnestly. Gansler on the volley. First time clearance. Ayman Hamid. Two defenders quickly onto him, but Robin Chan supports. Uweiler. High clearance this time into the night sky. Out of play again, right beside Alan Dix, the coach of Carolina. 3 minutes to go. A blank scoreboard. Danny Kerr. That flake by Lawson. All not. Hamid has drifted wide right. Hamid with the cross. Dino Lopez gets his head to the ball for the Milwaukee Rampage. The clearance completed by Gentili. Not very pretty just at the moment. A lot of wayward passes. Slack crossing. Moxham's long ball really sums up the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Certainly does. Got a little bit sloppy the last few minutes. These teams need to just settle down.
Otta. Mayor Otta loves to go forward when the opportunity presents itself. Travis Roy with a shoulder charge. And Moxham goes sliding in. Moxham, one of the busiest players on the field in the first half.
Moxham certainly been tested, but the Milwaukee defense covering for each other very, very well.
Long throw possibility here for Brian Lofton. Capable of getting good distance. Certainly did that time. Peter Gansler takes no chances. Wasn't really aware of what was around him and gives up the corner kick.
Gansler doing the only thing he could do in that situation. Giving away the corner kick was the safest thing to do, not knowing what was behind him and also being in the goal area. Very dangerous place to have your back to the field of play.
The oldest player for Carolina, Radwanski, takes the corner, trying to slide it in. Otta! The save by Zacco! And Lopez completes the clearance. The fans rejoice. Zacco with a key save for the Milwaukee Rampage.
It's a great reflex save that time by Zacco. Probably the best opportunity of the half.
Play rages on. Chance again for Danny Kerr. Lofton with his header. Alma trying to finish off the move, and for the second time in 30 seconds, the save by Carmen Zacco.
Boy, the last 2 minutes, Zacco certainly has earned his money. And here's another look at the cross from Lofton, or rather Lofton getting on the end of that one, and Ona unable to convert it. Zacco covering it well.
25 seconds left to go in the first half. Foul committed by Hamid on Travis Roy. We'll be hearing from Alan Dix, the coach of Carolina, in just a moment. Approaching halftime here. Maybe one last opportunity. No, for Milwaukee. The foul committed. The whistle is sounded. And that will do it for the first half. Plenty of action here in Milwaukee, but no goals.
But certainly plenty of opportunities, just haven't been able to convert them.
The Milwaukee crowd lapping this up. We're joined live by Alan Dix, the coach of the Carolina Dynamo. Alan, Derek Ray, along with Farouk Qureshi, your impressions of the first half.
Oh, it's very keen. I mean, both sides have had chances. We've got in behind the defense, the Milwaukee defense, I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't hit the target better than we did, but it's a very competitive game. The crowd are great, the event is great, and we're all enjoying it, and all I want to see is Carolina win.
You're a little biased, of course.
Yeah, I think so.
A-League soccer at its best, Alan. We'll look forward to seeing you after the match. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Alan Dix, the coach of the Carolina Dynamo. We are goalless, a blank scoreboard in Milwaukee. It's the A-League championship game. Back after this. No goals in the first half. We're joined here at Eline Soccer Park by two guests, Hank Steinbrecher, the Secretary General of U.S. Soccer, and of course the Commissioner of the A-League, Francisco Marcos. Francisco, let's talk about this match, first of all, a fitting end to the season.
Well, it really is, but actually I can almost pinch myself. I was here 4 years ago for the birth of the Rampage in some high school football stadium with snow on the ground in May, and about 200 people were there. To be here 4 years later for what is actually Milwaukee's first ever outdoor professional soccer game is really a great situation. In an incredible atmosphere, great ambience, great field, maximum dimension pitch, a great game, great parity. It's really the sort of thing that commissioners obviously dream about.
What have you done well as far as the A-League's concerned, in your opinion, this year, and what could you do better in '98?
Well, I certainly what I've done well has been lucky enough to find guys that can have the commitment like Dan Doucette and Neil McPherson, the owners of these two clubs, and a few others like more. I need about 24 more. I need about 24 more fields like this and situations like we got here in Milwaukee, and then we'll be really in seventh heaven.
Let's bring in Hank Steinbrecher. Hank, for you, a pleasant short drive from Chicago to Milwaukee, an entertaining fare for the fans tonight.
This is a great day and a great day for me. I got to see two high school games, drive up here for the A-League championship. Francisco said that it was a day where everyone should be happy, that he was really proud. I can tell you, for the first time in the United States in our history of soccer, we have a fully integrated professional division, Division I, A-League, Division II, Division III, fully integrated along these lines. This is a great day. 6,000 plus fans here, a football field made in heaven. This is a beautiful pitch.
Do you feel now that we're approaching the situation of an England or Germany where you have the fully fledged first division, the second, and now a legitimate third and fourth and all the way down?
Yeah, we've finally seen the integration. I have to take my hats off to Francisco for doing this, because it was really his leadership that did this. But soccer is so alive and well in the United States. I mean, millions and millions of kids, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of fans wanting to see the national teams, millions of fans. In fact, the national team plays in a very big World Cup qualifying match this Friday night against Jamaica.
We'll be following that game very closely indeed. The USA against Jamaica as the World Cup hexagonal, the CONCACAF hexagonal, draws to a close. Halftime here in Milwaukee. The Rampage try to outdo the Carolina Dynamo in the A-League championship game. So, let us check the halftime facts and figures.
And we see the Rampage leading in the shot category, 7-5, with the early goal in their advantage. Dynamo coming back into it. Caesar even, and pretty well evenly played first half.
Carolina and Milwaukee going at it for the A-League crowd.
Number 6.
No goals in the first 45 minutes. Who will break in the second? Perhaps not surprisingly, Nick Eigel is in the game for the Milwaukee Rampage. Likes to operate wide on the right. And Quinn Ross emerges as well as a substitute. Two quick switches by Bob Gansler.
Quinn Ross replacing David Moxham at right fullback, and Eigel replacing David Marshall up front.
Aaron Breslin touches the ball over the byline, conceding the corner kick, the first of this second half.
And Milwaukee started in the second half much as they started the first half, putting pressure on the Carolina goal.
Jason Willen is in position. Wild Thing will take the corner kick for the Milwaukee Rampage from the far side. Milwaukee attacking the goal to our right here in the second half. All the big players are up. Peter Gansler, formidable opponents for defenders because of his height. Stebbins there as well. He got the flashing header in. Question is, who did it come off last of all? Appeared to be Stockton of Carolina. Yes, it'll be another corner kick.
And this is good pressure by Milwaukee. And of course, this is where Carolina really misses the services of Robert Rosario, who's a 6'4", and would be a good opponent for Peter Gansler, 6'5" height.
Willen's corner kick. Heaney stays on the line. Back it comes. Shapansky from Milwaukee. Blocked away, and here's a counter-attacking possibility now for Carolina. Brian Lofton checks up. Dishes the ball out wide to the right to Radwanski. Lofton dashing it to the center. Gets past Hugh Weiler, cutting it in. Hamid! And Izako makes the save. Oh, Izako denies Ayman Hamid. The goal was gaping at him. Less a great save than a poor finish.
It was a poor finish, certainly, but give credit to Izako as well for stopping it. And here's another look at it. Hamid getting the shot off and not getting much power on it, and Izako stopping it quite easily.
What a chance for Carolina. It went a begging. A counterattack led by Lofton. Hamid unable to apply the finishing touch. Knocked away by Quinn Ross, who was in to stiffen the defense for Milwaukee. He replaced Moxham, as Farouk mentioned, with David Marshall taking a seat to allow Nicholas Eigel to come into the match. Danny Kerr, the high floater. Izako watches it all the way as it goes into that crowded area behind the goal. A lot of the fans choosing to sit on the grassy hill there. No score in the A-League championship game. Carolina going for its third USISL title in 5 years. Milwaukee, as far as they're concerned, the cupboard is bare in trophy terms. All that could change tonight. The match has been dominated by defenses for the most part. We were talking, Farouk, toward the end of the first half about the poor quality of crossing.
Certainly the crosses have not been of the quality that either team would like or needs. And in order to be able to convert crosses, they've got to be good in the first place.
Quinn Ross tries to barge his way down the right. There's confirmation of the fact that Ross is in the game for Moxham. And the other substitution by Bob Gansler, Nick Eigel, a super sub in many respects, on in relief of David Marshall. Travis Roy, his touch lets him down. And you would think, logically, Farouk, that Roy would move forward because of that switch to join Stebbins. Travis Roy, essentially a striker, but has been playing on the right side of midfield this evening.
And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the chemistry. Certainly Roy is a good striker, but the chemistry between Roy and Stebbins is not as good as the chemistry between Stebbins and Eigel when they play together up front.
We'll see how that combination works out for Bob Gansler. Shapansky. Knocked away by Ball, not decisively, but the foul committed by Nick Eigel. Dangerous play that time.
Lucky escape for Carolina.
Flag raised on the far side. Action spilling over to the other end. Lopez. Calmly steering it out of defense. Hugh Weiler over on the far side. Danny Kerr's accurate header. They really need to establish Alnott, number 17, whose pass is played out to the right to Hamid. Disappointing ball by Ayman Hamid. Gobbled up by Shapansky for the Milwaukee Rampage. Stebbins back again to John Shapansky. Alnott. Stockton. Good situation for him here as he takes on Quinn Ross. Valiant defending by the substitute Ross. Quinn Ross, 30 years old, has a spell with Lyngby of Denmark on his resume.
Here's another look at it. Looks like Stockton's gone past him, but Ross recovers very, very well to tackle the ball out of bounds for a throw-in.
It'll be taken from the near side by Brian Lofton. As we saw in the first half, he's capable of getting good distance. Izako goes up and makes the catch. Makes it look a little more simple than it actually was. We've been playing for 6 minutes in the second half. A fiercely contested A-League finale. The championship game from Milwaukee between the hometown Rampage and the visiting Carolina Dynamo. Hope you're enjoying our coverage as the pressure intensifies. Derek Ray, Farouk Qureshi with you. Eigel wins the free kick. Danny Kerr took him out. And Kerr will be called over by Kevin Terry. This will be the first yellow card of the contest.
And here's another look at that. This time, Danny Kerr trying to work the ball out of the back, but put it under pressure by Eigel, and then he has to foul him in order to prevent Eigel from breaking away on goal. Good call by referee Kevin Terry.
First time Mr. Terry has produced the card. It goes against Danny Kerr. Shapansky's short free kick to Jason Willen. Looking for Eigel on the edge of the box. It's a very crowded Carolina penalty area that time. John Ball. Looking for Robin Chan. The furtive little Englishman. Ryan Lofton getting in behind the defense. Colliding with Carmen Izako. Luckily, no one is worse for wear. Momentum kept Lofton going. That's why contact was made.
Good play by Izako, though. Here's a through ball put through for Lofton. Beats Gasser to it, but just gets there and just unable to put the ball on target. Collides with Carmen Izako.
Ryan Lofton with 11 goals and 4 assists. Great numbers for a man who, as we mentioned earlier, contemplated giving up soccer for good. No score. Carolina against Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Rampage in the white shirts attacking the goal to our right here in the second half. Which teams will the stronger? It could come down to that. Given away by Shapansky. Kieran Breslin is there. Lofton hustling for the ball. Lopez with the foul.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Kevin Terry catches up with a big Canadian and gives the free kick. Dino doesn't like it, but I think this will be another yellow card, yes.
And that's a fair call because we just saw Carolina get a card for a similar offense. And here we see Brian Lofton breaking through, and Dino Lopez takes him down. Otherwise, he'd have been through to goal. Good tactical foul by Lopez, but he got the yellow card, which is an automatic card.
The Welshman, Kieran Breslin, will take the free kick. All the big players poised to make late runs. Deep to the back post. Izako makes the save. Hamid tries to lob it in to no avail. Ada was up. He was the man who got his head to the ball initially, but Izako, not for the first time tonight, made the save.
And Izako showing exactly why he's had such a great year. Here's the cross coming in. Ada gets on the end of it to the far post, and Izako just makes a reflex save. Brilliant save by Izako. The ensuing shot by Hamid goes far over the bar.
Very bad marking by Milwaukee. Goodness knows how on earth Ada was able to break free inside the box. Now Stockton. Left channel for Carolina. Too deep with the cross.
But the reason his cross was so deep was because he's put under pressure by Travis Roy, by Quinn Ross, and hurried into making that cross, which was not a good cross.
Stockton jogs back. We've been playing for 10 minutes in the second half. We await the first goal. If it is all even at the end of 90 minutes, keep in mind we'll go to overtime with the golden goal rule in effect, meaning the first goal would decide it. 2 15-minute periods of overtime. If it's still even after all that, we'll go to the shootout. Let us hope it does not go that far. Let's hope it's decided by conventional means.
Well, certainly both teams have created opportunities to score. Now it's a matter of scoring.
Gansler's long, aimless pass. John Ball ushers it through to Aidan Heaney. The two goalkeepers have been in superb form tonight.
Well, both goalkeepers showing exactly why they're rated so highly.
Izako, if anything, has had to make more in the way of spectacular saves than Heaney, even though Milwaukee has perhaps had better chances than Carolina.
No, that's certainly very true.
lumbering run by Travis Roy, wins the free kick. And another yellow card coming up here. All done with the challenge. Kevin Terry says, yellow card, mate.
That's right, and Yari Allnut receiving that one. And Travis Roy here going through, and Yari just clips his ankles, and Roy dives head first.
A spate of yellow cards handed out by Kevin Terry, 3 in the space of 3 minutes. 2 for Carolina, 1 for Milwaukee. Is this Willen country? A little too far out, perhaps?
It's a long way out, but I'm sure he's...
There's Jason Willen.
What a great strike.
Aiden Heaney makes the save. Didn't have to dive far. We posed the question, was it Willen territory? Yes.
A beautifully struck shot by Jason Willen that time. On target, Aiden Heaney taking it to the far post. Had it covered all the way, but still a wonderful shot by Willen.
First time we've really seen him unleash on court from that kind of distance.
Yeah, something that Milwaukee needs to try and do more often, free him up in the center of the park, because he's playing so wide, he's really crossing the ball a lot.
Gansler, a little slow to get in as Allnut kicks it too far forward for his own good. We'd like to thank Umbro, the international soccer company, for allowing us to bring you the A-League championship game without commercial interruption. Umbro, only soccer since 1924. As you can see, we've been playing for 13 minutes of the second half. Approaching 58 in total. Nick Eigel trying to provide a spark off the bench for Bob Gansler. Carolina, meanwhile, has made a substitution, and look at this. Mike Saunders, the gigantic forward from Jamaica, replaces Ayman Hamid, who has not had the happiest of evenings. Pressure on Heaney, just gets it away in the nick of time.
And Saunders coming into the game, good substitution by Alan Dix.
Given away by Chad. Jason Willen tries to capitalize. Mike Saunders began the season with the Connecticut Wolves. Seemed to have an awful lot of off-the-field problems there. Now Hugh Weiler from Milwaukee, the deflection. Heaney went scrambling back, and mercifully from his point of view, it went over the top. Hugh Weiler's shot took an awkward ricochet.
And here's another look at it. Hugh Weiler running onto this pass, takes one touch, and then second touch, and then tees it up, just takes a deflection over the bar. But this is where Hugh Weiler is so dangerous. He has such skill, and when he comes forward, he's able to shoot well. They need to get him forward more often.
The deflection was off John Ball, hence a corner kick to the Milwaukee Rampage. Milwaukee being spurred on by the home crowd. Shapansky takes it short. Gentili hustles to refeed Shapansky. He'll settle for another corner kick as the ball came bobbling off Eddie Radwanski.
Nice corner kick that time, but not a good first touch for Gentili.
Almost spelling Rampage correctly. There's the M. Now we need a G and an E. Shapansky's corner, away by Radwanski. Brent Ross from Milwaukee. A lot of space afforded the Rampage in midfield. Everybody was back that time in defensive mode for Carolina. Jason Willen, way off the mark. Jason Willen normally possesses a rocket from that kind of distance. It was nothing more than a weak slice.
No, that was not a good shot by Willen that time. He had other options, but he elected to shoot. But he needs to be more selective.
Aiden Heaney surely had his heart in his mouth just moments ago when that Hugh Weiler shot took the deflection off ball. Heaney had positioned himself for the initial shot. Danny Kerr changing the point of attack unsuccessfully. Looking for Brian Lofton. Mike Saunders in the game now for the Carolina Dynamo, having replaced Ayman Hamid. And most certainly will help them in the air.
He certainly will. And he's also very good on the ground. He led the Connecticut Wolves for 4 years in scoring. He's not been starting lately because he's been injured, so wonder what kind of effect he'll have now.
Nice turn by Nick Eigel in midfield, working with Gentili. A tussle for the ball. Gentili keeps going. Switching it out to the right to Travis Roy. Here's the Roy trademark move. Well read, anticipated by Stockton. Ada. Hospital pass that time by Ada. The cross is too deep by Eigel. Ada nearly let him in. Decided not to make the entrance. Willen's feed by Q. Weiler. Trying to work the combination on the edge of the box. Travis Roy still going. Roy opening up Szczepanski. Corner kick conceded sensibly by Mayor Ada.
A nice build-up by Milwaukee. That's what happens when they keep possession and look for each other. They're able to get through and create some nice opportunities.
Aiden Heaney firing up his defense. Heaney is set. Szczepanski prepares for another Milwaukee Rampage corner kick. Into the middle this time. Out it comes to Willen. Trying the shot, and Heaney says no problem. Our action coming to you from E-Line Soccer Park. 6,381 the official attendance. That, we're delighted to be able to report, is a Rampage record. No empty spaces tonight, Farouk.
No, there certainly isn't, and it's wonderful seeing people sitting on the embankment, standing.
Milwaukee trying to break this Carolina defense. The Dynamo relying for the most part on counterattacks. Saunders with the pass. Radwanski using Kieran Breslin on the right. Bit of a surprise to see Breslin still wide.
Certainly is. He's very, very effective when he's inside. Possesses a good shot.
Tough tackle by Gentili, but it falls away of Saunders. His touch wasn't the best in the world. Knocked away by Nick Eigel off Kari Stockton. 18 minutes played in the second half. The stalemate continues. Kevin Terry waving play on following a couple of rugged tackles. Dino Lopez with the long ball. Well read by Breslin. Offside at the other end. Offside against Lofton.
And here's another look at Quinn Ross and Mike Saunders colliding. But that's Quinn Ross hitting an immovable object that time. Saunders is built like a rock.
Travis Roy's touch, no flag. Stebbins! Heaney gets a touch for a goal. Dan Stebbins has made the breakthrough. 1-0 Milwaukee.
And here's a look at that goal. Dan Stebbins comes forward into the box, and as Aiden Heaney comes out, just slots it past him to the left post. Nice finish by Stebbins. And this is what he does so well. Good pass to lead Stebbins into the box, and Heaney doing as much as he can to narrow the angle, unable to stop Stebbins' shot. Beautifully placed by Stebbins.
A lethal finish by the most precise finisher on the Milwaukee team, Dan Stebbins. But Carolina now tries to answer Milwaukee. Kari Stockton will take the corner kick. From the far side, and the header this time by Ada. Just over the top. 2 or 3 times we've seen Mayor Ada ghost into those effective positions following corner kicks.
Good effort that time by Carolina. Ada doing well at the far post. Just unable to get over the ball sufficiently to get it down and on target.
Dangerous game by Carolina moments ago. Playing the offside game, and they paid the penalty.
Well, really, it was a matter of time before one of these teams converted the opportunities they were creating.
Good pass by Lofton to the Welshman, Kieran Breslin. Well, the trap wasn't bad. The cross, woeful under the circumstances. 1-0. Milwaukee leads it against the Carolina Dynamo in the red shirts. The Rampage fans celebrating. that a lap of honor? A little too early for that, I would suggest.
Yes, it is, and Carolina's going to have to come forward now, which could leave them susceptible at the back to these Rampage counterattacks.
"67 minutes in total on the clock. Weiler with the pass for Milwaukee. Mike Saunders goes across, makes the sliding tackle. The fans very much in the game now. That goal fired them up. Stockton wins it back for the Dynamo. Lofton goes down. Quinn Ross, you heard him say, "I didn't touch him." No contact was made, but a free kick. Is at the controls for the Carolina Dynamo. This will surely force Carolina to change its act, to be a little more attack-minded. They've depended mostly on counters. Breslin on the right. He'll get a corner kick out of that. It came off Weiler.
Now it's a matter of whether or not this Milwaukee defense can keep the Carolina attack at bay, because you know that the Carolina team has got to come forward. It's got to apply pressure now. They have nothing to lose.
Corey Stockton once again will try to curl it in. Watch for Otta and Saunders. Very dangerous in the air. Deep to the back post. Saunders is there. Otta again jumping up, but too much elevation on the header.
And again, Mayer out getting under the ball, not getting over the ball, which is very, very important in order to get the ball down and on target.
We'd like to thank Umbro, the international soccer company, for allowing us to bring you tonight's A-League championship game, the finale of the season, without commercial interruption. Umbro, only soccer since 1924. Derek Ray, Farouk Qureshi with you from E-Line Soccer Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And a battle royal is unfolding out in front of us. A touch by Lofton. Over on the far side, the Carolina right. Weiler and Willen with him. Gansler chested down and is forced to give up a corner kick. Carolina started to wake up after conceding the goal.
They certainly have. Brian Lofton has done a great job for Carolina all evening up front. And now he's coming wide to get the ball, but when he comes wide, they need to find people to go inside to get on the end of his crosses.
Stockton with the corner kick. Looking for Otta at the near post this time. Couldn't find him. Second bite of the cherry for Corey Stockton. Otta's there, heading it back. Lofton, bad control. And here's a break. Nick Eigel. Bad feed. Ball able to get there. Back with Travis Roy. Looking to bludgeon his way through. To no avail. Eddie Radwanski. Roy taking the tumble. Travis Roy very gingerly getting back up. Zocco fields the ball for the Milwaukee Rampage, sensibly booting it out of play to enable the trainer to rush on and work on Travis Roy.
And here's Travis Roy going into the tackle, wins the ball. Hard to see what happened there. Obviously he's hurt his ankle.
Otta was the covering defender. Looked as though Roy twisted the ankle. One 0 is the score if you've recently joined us. A goal after 65 minutes scored by Dan Stebbins. Carolina trying to make inroads. Otta's pass to the lumbering Saunders. Kieran Breslin on the far side. Breslin hasn't been at his best tonight. Radwanski chesting it back. Otta. Stockton providing width. He takes on Nick Eigel. Was tracked back. Good run by Stockton. But again, the cross is not up to the normal caliber. The build-up has been fine by Stockton. He's made a lot of enterprising runs, but his final pass, not got a high grade for that.
Well, he hasn't been able to get past the defender sufficiently to get a good cross in. And when you take in on the player like Nick Eigel, who's very, very fast himself, it's very, very difficult to go past him.
Eigel entered the match at the start of the second half. Quick Nick, as they refer to him here in Milwaukee. Saunders for the push on Hugh Weiler. Dan Stebbins scored the 1 goal of records to date after 65 minutes. The season began on such a sour note for Stebbins with the Dallas Burn. Lasted only 38 minutes against the New England Revolution on his debut. Pulled up lame, a knee injury, but he has bounced back with his old club, the Milwaukee Rampage. Gansler's header. Throw goes to the Carolina Dynamo, taken by Kieran Breslin. Robin Chan, the Welshman and the Englishman together. Izako went flailing at it. Went straight through for the goal kick. Give Izako credit for the fact that it's still 1-0.
He certainly made some key saves for Milwaukee, kept them in this game, in fact.
Think back to the end of the first half. On 2 or 3 occasions, he thwarted the Carolina attackers. Gentili. Quinn Ross on the right. Looking for Gentili again. Pass to nowhere. John Ball mops up and squares it across the defense to Mayor Ada. Now collected by Yari Alnut, who's been forced to move deeper and deeper to win possession. Milwaukee has done a superb job neutralizing Alnut. Lofton going from side to side. Breslin and Izako watches it go over the top without any difficulty. 17 minutes left to go. Milwaukee leads it by 1 in the A-League championship game.
And Breslin that time, another disappointing cross from the young forward, although he had no support when he received the ball.
Good view of the kick by Izako. John Ball, Nick Eigel. The body slam. And finally, Ball takes a fall. Well, that had the potential to get ugly just for a moment. Thankfully, it didn't.
And here's another look. John Ball going forward. Nick Eigel challenging. And Eigel making contact with Ball. You're right, it could have been ugly.
Headed away by Peter Gansler. Stockton on the left. He's had no joy against Quinn Ross in the second half. A similar tale against Moxon in the first. Lofton trying the shot on the post. Goodness. So the chance is on. Chan into traffic. Somehow Milwaukee survives. The opening was there.
Certainly a lucky escape for the Milwaukee Rampage. Izako beaten, the ball hitting the post and coming out.
Izako knew very little about it. Here's Stockton now. Gets a second chance. Pressure on the Milwaukee defense. Stockton with a strong challenge. Here's out toward the touchline. Mayor Ada. Got a bad cross. Breslin's header. Saunders. Play continues. Lofton into the defense. Now the defense, a trifle exposed at the other end. Dan Stebbins switching the point of attack. Jason Willen. Eddie Radwanski is marking him. Willen's cross. Stebbins is there. Haney with a great save. Magnificent goalkeeping by the Englishman.
And good play by the Milwaukee Rampage attack, stretching this Carolina defense from right to left.
The game is opening up now. Dino Lopez has taken a knock. That's why we have a stoppage.
And here's another look at the cross from Willen, and Stebbins getting a header of the far post. Good save by Haney at full stretch.
Dino Lopez taking a little bit of a breather here, as is the case with all the players on the field just at the moment. But the real talking point, Farouk, that shot off the post just a few minutes ago. We'll try to show you that the next opportunity. Let's watch it.
Here's another look. Brian Lofton gets the ball, goes inside, takes a great shot. The ball beats Sarko, hits the far post and comes back out and almost gives Carolina another chance at a goal, but comes off of Hugh Weiler's legs and then is just cleared. Narrow escape for Milwaukee. Good effort by Brian Lofton.
Brian Lofton having a discussion with his coach, Alan Dix. Lopez more than a bit shaken up. Brazilian Canadian. A true fan favorite here in Milwaukee. Let's see how resilient he is here.
Good job, Brian. We're going to win it.
2 goals for Dino Lopez this year. We brought you one of them during our A-League match of the week against Rochester. Ada restarts play, giving it back in a sporting fashion to Milwaukee. 1-0 Rampage is the score. All not with the pass. Ada. Stockton. So much has gone through him on the left. Robin Chan. Dan Stebbins putting the heat on Chan. Stockton. Kari Stockton going infield this time. Lopez almost on one leg. Getting it out of the danger zone. Back with Saunders. We go through Yarialna. The Dynamo badly need a goal if they're to fulfill their dream of winning the A-League championship. First year in the A-League for both Milwaukee and Carolina. Despite slow starts, they're the teams jousting it out. We'd like to thank Umbro, the international soccer company, for allowing us to bring you the final without commercial interruption. Umbro, only soccer since 1924.
You know, Derek, it's interesting because very few people thought that teams coming up from USISL last year could dominate in the A-League.
Chance inside the box. Stacey Sweeney apparently ready to come in for Milwaukee. And we're told Travis Roy will depart. Look at this. Aiden Heaney all the way out of his area beside the halfway line. A touch of the compost there. Comes to Danny Kerr. Now his touch was a bad one. Kerr, not the most technically gifted player in the world. Chance high header, trying to catch out the defense, and Saunders showed deceptive speed. Mike Huweiler got it behind for the corner.
And Saunders that time putting Huweiler under pressure, forcing Huweiler to give away the corner kick.
There's Casey Sweeney, the number 3, 23 years old. This is second season for the Rampage, actually drafted by the Tampa Bay Mutiny last year.
That's right. Casey Sweeney, very good athlete.
It's good night, Travis Roy. He has certainly played his part.
Sweeney, a defensive player, coming on for an attacking player. So I wonder if Coach Bo Gans is looking to shore up this defense now.
Stockton with the corner kick. Hugh Weiler gets his head to the ball. Back with Stockton. Lofton, oh, the touch wasn't what it might have been. Hugh Weiler. Tackled by Stockton. The referee allows play to continue. The defense exposed. Casey Sweeney cuts it back. Eigel running it down to Jason Willen. And Aiden Heaney presented with a gift in the end by Willen. There's the cavalry charge at the other end. And look at this. Lofton, can he finish? Yes!
What a great goal.
Brian Lofton following the direct Aiden Heaney feed has tied the match. Izako is beaten 1-1 at Eline Soccer Park.
And Lofton has been threatening to do that all evening. And really, these are just desserts. Here comes the assist from Aiden Heaney. great direct kick downfield, 3/4 length of the field, and Lofton just runs onto it, tees it up, and volleys it past Isako to the far post. A great finish by Brian Lofton.
Lofton's 4th goal in the playoffs for a Carolina Dynamo team that appeared to be on its last legs. Now they're very much back in the fight. Stebbins' goal offset by Lofton. The Carolina fans love it. The loyal bands of supporters who have made their way from Greensboro, North Carolina. Back to the drawing board for Bob Gansler and company.
And now he's made some certain changes. And now we have to see what kind of adjustments Bob Gansler can make to regain this lead.
Well, the Sweeney switch, Farouk, was ostensibly a defensive maneuver. Was it the right one under the circumstances? Sweeney, a defensive midfielder for Travis Roy?
Well, it's hard to say because what are his options on the sideline?
Sweeney brought in. Of course, give credit to Aiden Heaney for that goal for the Swifts release. Spotted that the defense was sagging a little on the part of Milwaukee. Here's Stockton. Kari Stockton on the left. Casey Sweeney, good hustle. And he wins the ball again. The fans appreciate that. Gentili. Sweeney is available wide on the near side, the right. Bad pass. Intercepted by Yariona. Long ball over the top, and Gansler goes back to cover. There's the other Gansler. Bob of that ilk.
You know, Derek, we talked about the loss of Rosario and Schweitzer for Carolina. We haven't mentioned the fact that Eddie Badusco, who played against Vancouver for Milwaukee, is unavailable for Milwaukee tonight because he's unable to get into the country from Canada because of visa problems.
Try explaining that one. That's a tough one to swallow.
Certainly, and Badusco would have been a starting forward.
Lofton. Courageous bit of play, but Dino Lopez ushers it back to Carmen Izako. Brian Lofton with a tying goal in the 79th minute, offsetting the earlier 65th minute strike by Dan Stebbins. The two strikers we profiled at the top of our telecast coming through for their respective sides. Foul by Ada, chopping in on Nick Eigel. What a tense finish in Prospect here. Mike Heweiler. Got to lead on his troops. Misunderstanding between Heweiler and Nick Eigel. Ada. Ball crossing the touchline as Ada and John Ball trying to work together. Alan Dix really firing up his team. Ada will take this. Robin Chan back to Ada. No nonsense stuff. Looking for Mike Saunders. Saunders adds an extra dimension to his Carolina Dynamo attack. Alan Dix surveys the scene.
Come on, boys. Come on, Danny! Hi, Curry! Yeah, Danny!
The maestro at work. The Dynamo have managed to carve out a corner kick for themselves. Breslin will take it. The head flick this time by Ada. How many times has that happened in the second half? The corner from Breslin to Ada.
That just happened 3 times. Ada's gotten 3 headers off of corner kicks in this half. And there's another look. Ball comes in, Ada just flicks it back a little bit high. But he does well to get to them.
The prospect of overtime looms large on the horizon now. 1-1. Here's the score. The deep cross by Casey Sweeney. Way over the top. Sweeney still working on his technique. He's a hard-nosed player, but not the most technical. Aiden Heaney spots the ball. Heaney with the assist on that tying goal. Gentili trying to play it across. 5.5 minutes remaining at Eli Soccer Park. Hugh Weiler's pass. In goes Alnut. Chan getting it down to Brian Lofton. Plays very well with his back to goal. Alnut trying to unleash Mike Saunders. Gansler's high, hopeful ball. Stebbins battling to keep it in play. Little spin move by Lofton. Doesn't pay dividends. Mike Hugh Weiler with space. And he can shoot as we saw earlier. Play continues. Casey Sweeney from Milwaukee. Now Shapansky. Long-range effort this time by Gentili. Into the crowd behind the goal. A wasted opportunity. Shapansky actually had the chance to take the shot initially, but he left it for Gentili.
And Gentili had other options as well. Shapansky going wide for the through ball. Gentili can't be very pleased with that effort.
The 6,000 plus fans on the edge of their seats. We have entered the closing phase of this A-League championship game for 1997, at least the regulation portion thereof. Will we go to overtime? Isako fields the ball. If we do, it'll be 15 minutes each way, 2 15-minute periods, with the golden goal rule in effect. They believe in blooding them young here in Milwaukee. Rampage fans. Now the opening for the Rampage. Igo bursting his way through. Nick Igo trying to go all the way. To no avail. Sweeney involved as well.
Boy, a narrow escape that time for Carolina. Nick Igo, love to have that one back. Here we see him running onto the ball. Bringing it in towards Heaney. Heaney covering the near post well. Igo just toe pokes it, and it goes wide of the post.
A close encounter. As you can see, just over 3 minutes left to go in Milwaukee.
But that narrow escape just now, Derek, the Carolina defenders thinking that on offside should have been called. But you can't wait for that whistle.
There was no flag. Nice. Gentili for the Milwaukee Rampage. Disappointing pass. Breslin and Radwanski together. Yari Alnut has been quiet tonight, but a sizzling shot. Saved by Isako. The Carolina crowd. The section of Dynamo fans getting involved now. Mayor Otta goes with the long ball, hooks it a little bit. Throw-in is the result of that.
And here's a shot from Yari Ono, who turns very quickly and just gets off a first-time shot, but Carmen Isako covers it well.
John Ball has done an admirable job of filling in for Scott Schweitzer as the sweeper. Mike Hugh Weiler for the Milwaukee Rampage. Whoops it down the left to Nick Igo. Second half substitute. One of the speediest players on the Milwaukee team. And a chance to show it off here. Tight marking. Danny Kerr stayed with it. And Kerr gets the decision. It'll be a throw to Carolina.
And that was a tough call that time, but the crowd not liking it. Good recovery by Danny Kerr, because Nick Igo was very, very fast.
Kerr, the former Clemson player. Gentili pumping with Alnut. Lofton. Gansler strong on the tackle. Here's Stockton. Rick Ross hacks it away without much fuss. Carolina trying to attack from the right flank. Kieran Breslin. Sweeney manhandles him. Free kick. Inside the final 1 minute spell. Can Carolina snatch it? Alan Dix hopes so. Breslin with a free kick. Isako. A lollipop.
Another good free kick by Breslin, because that's the kind of ball that Isako can take all night long.
The seconds are ticking away. We're poised for overtime at E-Line Soccer Park here in Milwaukee.
Almost got it, John.
Milwaukee trying to drive it over the middle. Heaney forced to play the role of sweeper, and he did it to perfection. Stebbins was making the run. 10 seconds left. Surely overtime now. Looks like a hand by Chan. Saunders keeps going. 3 seconds left. Trundles wide, and that will be all for the 90 minutes. A magnificent second half. Bob Gansler and Alan Dix drawing a blank.
And that was close call at the end there for Aidan Heaney, with Dan Stebbins coming through. And you can hear Bob Gansler on the sideline mic telling his team to get the ball to Stebbins in the inside left position. Good advice, just poor execution.
Alan Dix canceled out by his opposite number, Bob Gansler. It was a goalless first half, but Stebbins and Lofton striking for their respective teams after the intermission. 1-1 at the end of regulation. Keenly contested battle, as evidenced by the stats from regulation.
And you see that Dynamo took an edge in the shots taken. A lot different from the first half.
The Carolina Dynamo and the red shirts get the first period of overtime underway. They're attacking the goal to our right. A spirited comeback by the Dynamo. Brian Lofton's goal offsetting the earlier strike by Dan Stebbins. Jason Haupt is in the game for Carolina. It appears, Farouk, that Mike Saunders has departed.
Yeah, there's a short-lived appearance by Mike Saunders.
Saunders only on the field for 20 minutes or so. Mike Gentili, the number 12 for Milwaukee, scrapping for the ball. So the throw goes Carolina's way. Danny Kerr testing out Dino Lopez. John Japansky, the captain, has never stopped working tonight for the Milwaukee Rampage. Quinn Ross lofting it downfield. Nick Eigel is there with a trap. Hada very coolly across the defense to John Ball. There was a push by Nick Eigel in any case. We'd like to thank Umbro, the international soccer company, for allowing us to bring you the A-League Championship game without commercial interruption. Little touch by Dan Stebbins. Jason Willen trying to catch up with it. On the near side, the left. Throw goes to Carolina. To be taken by Kerr. Bounces Carolina's way. Jason Haupt leading the attack. Fresh pair of legs. Stockton was free on the left. Haupt couldn't connect with him. Gansler scrapes it away to Jason Willen. Willen's distribution, nothing to write home about. Remember, this is a golden goal situation now. Sudden death, golden goal, however you wish to describe it. Whoever scores wins. Simple as that.
So now it's extremely important that these teams do not make mistakes, especially in the defensive third of the field.
Mike Gentili for the Milwaukee Rampage. Casey Sweeney couldn't get there. Here's Brian Lofton, the most dangerous attacker on the field for Carolina. Across the defense they go. Mike Heweiler. Out it comes to Gentili for Milwaukee. Misses out Willen. Quinn Ross is there. The tension unbearable for these Milwaukee fans. Dan Stebbins. Good wing changing pass from right to left. Shapansky riding the challenges effectively. He'll get a corner kick out of that.
Nice change of the point of the attack that time, going from right to left. Shapansky very direct, taking his player on, getting to the byline and pulling the ball back.
Derek Ray, Farouk Qureshi with you from Milwaukee. Bob Gansler pacing around in the technical area. His team has managed to win a corner kick, and it will be taken by Jason Willen. Gansler, Peter Gansler that is at the near post. He goes to the far one. Too much on the corner. Lopez deals it back. Shapansky. Heaney hesitated just for a moment, but didn't pay for that.
And Heaney's clearance goes straight back to Milwaukee. Brian Lofton being on the other wing.
Shapansky's pass intended for Nick Eigel on the right side. Ada. Mayor Ada got the final touch on that. Hence, he gives away the throw-in. After some deft work out of defense.
Good pressure by Nick Eigel that time, forcing Ada to give away the throw-in.
Eigel. Here's Shapansky. Has a bit of freedom here. Not a bad cross. Might come back to Hugh Weiler. And Shapansky thwarted by Kari Stockton. The awkward bouncing ball. Long one here for Lofton to chase. He won't get there. Gansler's header. Radwanski. Gansler again. Heading it away on the volley. Pushed by Yariona that time on Shapansky. Alan Dix. Carolina, coached by Dix, coming back. The tie the match through Lofton after Stebbins scored first. Here's a chance for Milwaukee. The pass by Stebbins, looking to make the connection with Eigel. Now a break for Carolina. Alnott couldn't feed Brian Lofton accurately. 5 minutes played to the first period of overtime. 1-1 in Milwaukee.
And poor Brian Lofton, he's the sole striker that Carolina has up front, and he's marked by at least three Milwaukee defenders each time.
Ross. Still Quinn Ross. Good job of opening up the defense. Eigel. Latest in the series of poor final passes we've witnessed this evening. Brian Lofton, his control lets him down. Gansler very calmly across the defense to Michael Heweiler. Heweiler's pass goes astray. The nerves becoming a telling factor now.
The final pass has not been good in this overtime.
Mike Heweiler, once of DC United. Before that, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Radwanski with what looked like a push. Referee Kevin Terry lets it go. Mike Gentili thought he was the victim of the push.
But there's been a lot of sloppy passing in this overtime, Derek, and certainly Eddie Radwanski's push on Gentili could have been called, but Terry obviously thinking it wasn't as bad as it looked.
Robin Chad split it in and out of the match tonight. Pass gobbled up by Heweiler. Peter Gansler maturing with every game. Gansler. Brent Ross with a pass. Nick Eigel. Could he be the man to unlock the door with his speed? Shuffling in field. Eigel for Milwaukee. Gentili takes over. Goal kick. Gentili thought it came off Jason Haupt last of all. Not so.
And Eigel did well that time to keep his balance. But both teams are playing rather scrappy soccer in this overtime. They need to settle down and be patient. There's a lot of soccer left in this overtime.
Swirling wind tonight here in Milwaukee as Heaney takes the goal kick. Haupt. Now Robin Cham Tricky little player. Kieran Breslin wide on the right. Trying to get the cross in. Isako hesitates and goes up. The field a spinning ball. Carmen Isako almost got caught in no man's land. Now John Ball's decisive header back to Aiden Heaney, enabling Heaney to pick up the ball. Carolina stays with 3 men at the back. Yari Aldon, a franchise player for Carolina. Now Radwanski, Danny Kerr. Utilizing Breslin. John Ball, the libero. Out to Whitseigel. Out to the far side to Mayor Ada. He uses Kari Stockton. Willen closes him down. Ross there as well. Dino Lopez with a decisive header out of the danger area. John Shapansky's pass for the Milwaukee Rampage. Nick Eigel on the third. Very fleet-footed player. Willen. Shapansky. Once again, a rather aimless ball by Shapansky.
And now this is where players are getting tired as well, so it's harder to make bad balls into good balls through a little bit of extra effort.
9 minutes into the first period of overtime. Derek Ray, Farouk Qureshi with you from Eline Soccer Park in Milwaukee. The tension mounts, one apiece. John Ball using Aiden Heaney. Well, Dan Stebbins right in his face. Danny Kerr for Carolina spreads it forward. Jason Hobbs on the chase. Dino Lopez heads it away in the nick of time.
Under a lot of pressure that time by Jason Hobbs.
Casey Sweeney has taken a knock, apparently. Sweeney falling over. And referee Kevin Terry has called a halt to the proceedings just for the moment. The clock will be stopped, Farouk.
I wonder who Bob Gansel would possibly bring in now in the event that Casey Sweeney cannot continue.
Casey Sweeney being worked on. Hard-nosed competitor, Sweeney. We mentioned he caught the eye of Tampa Bay Mutiny scouts last year.
Certainly did. He had a good combine. And just wasn't able to get on with the team, but certainly showed a lot of promise.
Thankfully, Casey Sweeney is back with us. No substitution needed by Bob Gansler. Carolina trying to get something going here. Robin Chan with a high header. Away by Shapansky. Carolina struggling to hang on to it. Another player down. Breslin just for a moment, tying his laces. Yari Aldon for the Carolina Dynamo. Can he find a way through here against a very tight, dogged Milwaukee defense? Kari Stockton hasn't enjoyed much luck tonight. Ross doing a good defensive job on Stockton, who has the look of a frustrated player about it. Mark Kelly is number 16, the former Republic of Ireland international.
It looks like he's going to come in, Derek, to replace Kieran Breslin, who's still down. Looks like he's injured.
It will be an Irishman for a Welshman. But 4 minutes left to go in the first period of overtime. There's Breslin. He has played his part for the night. And Kelly, midfielder who once played in England with Portsmouth and Aldershot, and for the last 2 years in the League of Ireland with Sligo Rovers, will try to make his mark.
And Kelly, interestingly enough, had to retire from playing soccer in England because of a knee injury in 1994.
Fields for the free kick against Carolina that time. Danny Kerr was the defender who handled. The Milwaukee Rampage trying to do some damage. It'll be John Shapansky to take the free kick. Stebbins waits on the 18-yard line. With 4 minutes left to go in the first period of overtime. Shapansky curling it in. There's Gansler. Couldn't get a piece of that, and it skittles through for the goal kick. Nick Eigel entered the match at the start of the second half. Sometimes inconsistent, but never dull to watch.
And he only has one speed, and that's top speed.
No half measures where Nick's concerned.
Who do we got here? Not yet. Probably at the intermission.
Hayden Heaney with the goal kick.
Okay, 11.
Away by Ross. Gentili over the top. Heaney has it again for the Carolina Dynamo. Lower clearance by Heaney. Hacked away off the side of the foot of Mike Weiler for the Milwaukee Rampage. The fans generating considerable noise now, hoping it'll make the difference in favor of Milwaukee. Radwanski's touch. Alnott breezing away from the defense. Trying to lay it off. So Yari Alnott and Isako rescues the situation for Milwaukee. Corner kick.
And Isako did well that time. Alnott breaking to the left. Could have left it for Mark Kelly, who was also coming in on that shot. And here we have a look at it. Does well, puts it through Ross's legs, but unable to get it past Isako again, who covers the angle very, very well.
A corner kick to be taken by Kelly this time. Recently came into the match. Danny Kerr with the blast! Oh, that was packed with power. Isako got to it. Knocks it down very coolly indeed.
He certainly did, and again, Isako continues to show us exactly why he's just such an outstanding goalkeeper.
Peter Gansler offside. Willen trying to make the run. On the right, Bob Gansler, anything but happy with that.
It's the kind of call that coaches are really happy with, especially when it's your team that's on the receiving end.
Nearing the end of this first period of overtime. Alnott. Kelly on the left, the far side. Mark Kelly trying to make inroads against Quinn Ross. Free kick will go Kelly's way. 1 minute left to go in the first period of overtime. Kelly has taken up position wide on the left, over on the far side. Lays it back to Anna for the Carolina Dynamo. And it clear by Sweeney. 40 seconds left. The clock runs. Danny Kerr now going to the byline for Carolina. The bobbling cross. He'll get a corner kick. It came off Weiler. They'll have to be quick.
And they're rushing to get this corner kick in before time expires for the first half of overtime.
Here's Stockton. Easily blocked by the defense. Now it comes back with Carolina. 5 seconds to go in the first period of overtime. The fans counting them down. And away by Peter Gansler. That will be all for period number 1 in overtime. Bob Gansler says we'll turn around. There will be no break here. In keeping with the world tradition when it comes to overtime. At least that is the theory. Some of the players appear to be making their way down toward the technical area. The idea is to get it going as quickly as possible.
And the referee pointing to the center circle, telling both teams to come back because he needs to start the game immediately.
Well, the players have decided otherwise, so we will take a break at this juncture with the A-League Championship game still tied at 1. Milwaukee in the white shirts attacking the goal to our right. which team can summon up the qualities needed to pull this one out and become the A-League champions of 1997. Might come down to which team has most energy. Strength-sapping night for both teams, although the conditions have been in their favor. Little breezy on the cool side. Fall-like conditions for the final. Mark Kelly in the game now for the Carolina Dynamo. And there's a switch for Milwaukee. Steve Morris replacing Gentili. Morris, the Scotsman, 29 years old. Let's see if he can make a difference. The Carolina defenders standing firm. Ada. Trying to chip it down the left for Kelly. Bounces out on the side of Jason Willen for Milwaukee. Banging it off all night. It's become very untidy during the overtime. Of that, there's no doubt.
It's been a scrappy game. And neither team wanted to give up this goal, obviously.
Kelly on the left for Carolina. Ada farther forwards for Sancross. Izako, extremely efficient. We've become accustomed to that.
Yeah, Izako did very well that time. On a good cross from Mayor Ada.
Radwanski weaving pretty patterns. Ada in the forward position again. Eddie Radwanski against Big Peter Gansler. Gansler wins that individual battle. Jason Willen now down the right. Big Eigel tied in by the touchline. Riding the challenges. Look at Eigel go. Quick Nick is his nickname. Eigel cutting it in. Stebbins! Over the top. He couldn't control the ball under pressure, and the chance is lost.
And Carolina that time looking for the offsides call, which wasn't coming. As Eigel was taken on 3 plays, run half the length of the field, gets a good cross in. Stebbins chests it down, but isn't able to get the ball down as he's challenged and just puts it over the bar.
17 minutes played in total in overtime. We'd like to thank Umbro, the international soccer company, for allowing us to bring you this dramatic A-League championship game without commercial interruption. Umbro, only soccer since 1924. Another aimless pass. Radwanski trying to hook up with the strikers.
John Ball that time looking for Kerry Stockton. He thought Stockton would continue his run, but he didn't. So his through ball just runs aimlessly over the goal line for a goal kick.
Jason Willen, who has spent much of the time during the latter portion of this match on the right flank, gets the free kick. Willen, the free kick specialist, 26 years old. Here's what happens.
There's another look. Willen taken down.
Kelly was the offender. Mike Heweiler for the Milwaukee Rampage. Eigel on the edge of the box. Cleared by Ball. Lofted. Here's Ona. Has looked a little more useful in overtime than was the case during the 90 minutes. Radwanski. Stockton on the right for once. Let's see if he has more luck on this flank. Gary Stockton takes on Casey Sweeney. Wherever Stockton goes, Sweeney shall follow. Throw in Milwaukee. Bob Gansler not showing too much emotion. One of the most organized coaches you'll ever come across. Here's Quinn Ross dashing into Carolina territory. A good pass to Eigel.